Hello everyone, and welcome back to the sandy shores of SaltClan, where we left off last time on a very difficult place for our salty crew of cats, since we have had the loss of Fishbone Fang, and because he happened to be washed away by a storm and drowned, literally the same moon that we ended up adopting 5 kittens just in time for Paw, who is now Sand Tide, to still not have her eyes cured, just in time for Brian Tail and his sprain to turn out to be so severe that he's going to need to be an elder forever, and just in time for CaveSpec to go ahead and suddenly realize she's too old to help out with a warrior life. We had 5 kittens join. It's chaos. If you really stand back and you really think about it, right now the situation with SaltClan, it's amazing how losing just Fishbone Fang, who really would have regarded himself as a somewhat timid cat, potentially not really having a big impact on anyone or anything ever in his life, has actually destabilized a huge chunk of the clan and put all of the cats at risk. And I think that there's something actually pretty poetic and beautiful and profound about that, because it really goes to show that Fishbone Fang, he was, pardon the pun, but the backbone of Seri. I was trying so hard not to do that, but I had to. But he was more of a backbone of the clan than he thought. And now we need to figure out how to rebuild and how to move forward from here. And things are not easy, but StarClan has spoken, and I will tell you guys a very interesting twist that I think is going to happen in just a moment. But first, let's take note of this very tender, casual encounter that we have, the only one of the 2 cats who are currently interacting today, with Brian Tail currently consoling Salty. And so Brian Tail has gone in and he's hanging out in the warrior den with everyone else, and he is going up even though his sprained paw probably troubles him quite a bit. And he is nudging Salty gently and using his kindness and wisdom, trying to go ahead and encourage the despondent leader who has refused his position as Salt Star to be able to move on after what Salty feels is his blame for causing the death of one of his best friends and one of the most loyal cats that he has ever known. So I'm gonna roll the random dice. Whoops. Oh dear. Well, okay. Well, they went on a bit of a journey, but I got it back. And the dice say I do not get to pick. It was a 5 instead of a 1 or 2, so I don't get to pick what kind of encounter this is, but we're going to go ahead and roll the minor event relationship randomizer for a complicated moment then. So we could gain a romance, but I don't think so. Gain 1 like, lost 1 dislike, gain 2 respect, gain 2 comfort, gain 1 jealousy, gain 4 trust. That on the whole is a really sweet outcome. That actually is. I really appreciate that, and I really like that as something really sweet that seems super appropriate for Brian Tail. I know that he's kind of, in a way, like at first I was like, oh man, he's kind of like a vanilla sort of cat because he doesn't really have a lot going on. Like, he really has won my heart because he's so earnest and he has tried so hard to contribute however he can, and he wants to be able to leave a legacy for the future in a way that makes him feel like his actions can be helpful to taking care of other cats, and he wants to leave something good behind, and not so much for his own sake, but because he does honestly think of others first. And I really admire that about him. So Brian Tail, earning some of the comfort, respect, and like, even if just a little, of a Salty, is down here with him, kind of consoling him. He regrets not eating the bird on the fresh kill pile earlier. Perhaps that's just because he feels the empty clench of his stomach as the clan struggles to have enough food for all the kits. I'm still too scared to add a mechanic where the lack of prey might affect the clan, but I kind of feel like I need to because this feels irresponsible at this point not to. We'll have to see. And for his part, Salty is still feeling nervous. He's feeling insecure. He's still grieving so heavily that he cannot do any kind of work which unfortunately means that he is not going to be able to hunt for the clan this moon either. And unfortunately, neither is Sandtide, who is doing her best to try to look around camp, and I can only imagine with her damaged eyes that have been hurt for 4 moons, which is closing in, shockingly, on like a good chunk of her life, unfortunately. I can imagine that she's getting kind of nervous and looking around because she's wondering if she's ever going to be able to properly see again. If she's ever going to be able to follow through on her sense of duty that her righteous personality has. But how could she do that if she can't even see where she's going or what she's doing? So she's still in the medicine cat den right now with our solo medicine cat, Splash, who is our fantastic healer. But she's starting to feel a little nervous because we only have basically one sick cat who has had everything done for her damaged eyes that can be done. And otherwise a cat who's grieving, and Splash, she's a fantastic healer, but grieving kind of more falls into leaving the matter of a broken heart to the cats with a little bit more life experience and a little bit better like speaking skills. So Splash has an idea that we'll come up to in just a moment as well. And we do still have all of the relationship events because there was literally nothing else this moon. So I can't tell truly if that is a good or bad thing for our clan, because does that mean that SaltClan had a reprieve? Or with none of the cats who are currently ill being able to go ahead and step up, with no wandering healthy like cat who can just catch a whole dozen of fish in one afternoon wandering in and joining? What are we going to do? And we have a slew of relationship things that I also want to go ahead and share with you guys in just a moment here. I'm going to just glance over something really quickly. Wow, there's a lot of new things. Oh my gosh. Oh, there's multi-cat events now. Yes, I love seeing that with the updates. So, you know what? We'll go through this real quickly, and then I'll tell you the 2 major points of interest that the mini cats of SaltClan have actually been thinking about. So, over the last moon, Sandtide challenged Brindhill to spar with them, neutral effect. I like the idea that Sandtide, who's really trying to look around the camp, she's feeling a little nervous, was working with the wise and gentle Brindhill to try to just practice her movement since her eyes have been hurting so much. CaveSpec wants to spend more time with Sandtide, which I think is really cute, and that's a high positive effect too. I wonder, so like I'm gonna pop over there. CaveSpec, what do you think? Oh, she's busy eating some fresh kill. She is shameless, so I could see her just like going in and getting whatever she wanted. Oh, CaveSpec platonically loves Salty. Wow, and she's gone up a ton. I might not have to like roll randomizers for relationships anymore with this update, because that's a huge jump in platonic like with Sandtide. She also really likes Coral Waves and actually Dune Depths quite a bit too. And she does like Splash. She's just getting to know her quite a bit. Wow, okay. So CaveSpec, I like the idea that she wanted to go ahead and maybe console, since she's such a shameless, like, basically gossip, that if Sandtide can do nothing else, then at least CaveSpec can try to pick her mind for gossiping about the cats of the clan. And meanwhile, Sandtide's favorite people currently are Dogcracker Salty, who I think she does respect him quite a bit, actually. She really respects and likes Coral Waves, who has been working so hard to help take care of her for several moons in the Medicine Cat Den. And she feels really safe around Dunlandstar and Salty because they have provided a safe home for Sandtide to basically recover in over the past few moons. Oh my gosh. And she's also really comfortable around CaveSpec and Splash, which makes me happy. Wow, that is so much more movement than I usually ever see in the relationships from moon to moon. I might kind of sit back and see what the random event generator might do for us, but we'll see. So let's see. Coral Waves stands tall when CaveSpec walks by. Interesting. I wonder if Coral Waves is still trying to earn CaveSpec's respect. And she also asks Abkit how they're doing, so she's checking in on the little kits. Dune Depths swaps favorite prey with Salty. Boy, that's actually a little bit more significant than it looks like on the surface, because Dune Pa at the time was there when Fishbone Fang died. And we're going to talk about that in just a moment here, actually. And meanwhile, Dog Hugger Salty saw Coral Waves show off a skill they never knew they had, so high positive effect. And I think Salty was really impressed that Coral Waves has actually learned so much about how to be like in the medicine cat den and what you can and can't use to be able to go ahead and heal cats around here. And Dunlin Star, ooh, Dunlin Star goes to CaveSpec to ask for their wisdom. Oh my goodness. Okay, medium positive effect. He's craving the taste of frog, so I'm gonna say from all of the way that the cats are thinking about prey, they're getting a little worried about having enough food. And, wow, he actually really likes and respects Boots Paw's scrappiness, probably from being his kind of unintentional mentor for so long. Boots Paw still doesn't get along well with Dunlin Star, but again, we'll talk about that in just a second. And Dunlin Star, I don't think he really has time to think about romance, so he's not really gaining anything towards CaveSpec. Also, she's older. I gotta think about this. But in terms of the relationships, let's see. I really think this is so cute. So Dunlin Star, Galekit, and Gulkit had a nice talk while eating, which is adorable. So I take it that they actually got to really start chatting. That's 3 cats for the relationship events, by the way, which is new and very fun. And I like the idea that Dunlin Star, he's craving the taste of frog because he got a big piece of prey and he took it over to the kits and actually tore it up and let them eat most of it and just took a little bit for himself. Meanwhile, Brian Tail appreciates how Dog Hugger Salty always seems to ask how they're doing. I'm going to say that that's actually Brian Tail trying to show Salty that he hasn't forgotten how Salty has contributed to the clan for so long. And Sea Wish helps Shellkit pick furs out of their fur like a good adoptive mama cat. Look at how many relationship things we have this moon. This is amazing. Boots Paw is letting Sandtide share their troubles with them, hoping they'll feel better afterward. Boots Paw, he really is, he used to be quite childish and now he still is kind of childish. But he has been stepping up here and there. And I have noticed that he seems to want to be friends with the cats who are much closer in his age. Meanwhile, Splash caught Dunlin Star in a lie, maybe about there being enough food, or maybe about not needing to worry because he could do enough hunting, but then he comes back and he didn't have enough food, even though he said he could hunt enough because he just was trying to instill confidence in everyone. So I think Splash is getting worried about the food situation for sure. And she was stuttering while speaking to Piperkit, possibly because she is so distracted and worried. Meanwhile, Shellkit goes to tell a secret to Sea Wish, only for Sea Wish to tell them, to tell someone else's secret to them. Oh no! So Shellkit thinks that Sea Wish is a gossip, but she's also kind of an elder. She is really faithful, but that doesn't mean she doesn't let something slip now and then. So I think Shellkit's suddenly realizing, wait a second. Cats don't keep secrets sometimes, and that's kind of spooky for a young kit to realize. Galekit had a friendly argument with Pepperkit about which prey tastes best. I love seeing the kittens play together. And Gulkit thinks Piperkit has a strange sense of humor. And Ebkit had Dunlin Star bump into them, and they didn't even apologize. I bet that's because Dunlin Star is kind of staggering around, trying to do his best to provide for the clan. Piperkit saw Sea Wish the other day, but didn't get a chance to mew hello. Maybe again because there's a lot of busy cats. And Piperkit, Gulkit, and Coral Waves took a sun bath and had a small talk. That's so cute. That is so much more development for the relationships than we have ever experienced before. I really might have to step back, and unless it's a specific kind of event that we want, just kind of unless it's a patrol event reaction, just kind of see where the relationships play out themselves, because this is getting kind of interesting. But all right, my friends. So, while the kits run around squeaking and trying to catch what little sun there is in the stormy, leaf fall season here along the beaches of SaltClan, we're going to go ahead and we are going to turn our attention to something that our StarClan patrons have let me know. And that is the way that Dune Depths has not forgotten the sacrifice that Fishbone Fang made for them. And I had been thinking about this for quite a while now, actually, several days. And I think that Dunland Star has been thinking about this too. But Dune Depths has not forgotten that Fishbone Fang saved her life. And our wonderful patron Netherhearts actually came up with a story that made me cry that I will read really quickly. And that will explain one of the big events that is about to happen. So as our StarClan viewer, our StarClan watcher, Netherhearts looked down, she realized, or they realized I should say, that they had imagined Fishbone Fang saved Dunepaw by pushing Dunepaw's body up when a big wave came. Sorry, I'm getting like emotional because it's like Fishbone Fang lie. And so Fishbone Fang pushed Dunepaw, back when she was Dunepaw, up onto a piece of wood, but it pushed him down under the next wave, and he slowly looked up and saw how quickly he was sinking. He closed his eyes as he floated down, his fur slowly turning to stars, still feeling a tinge of happiness that until the very last moment, he was loyal and saved the lives of the cats of his clan. And Dunepaw would have felt Fishbone Fang push her up before seeing him disappear, which would let her know that he saved her life, and otherwise, without his sacrifice, she would have sunken under the waves with him, or maybe on her own. So, Dune Depths does have, I realize, some unexpected depth to her, including the name Dune Depths, which, when she grew up with that, it hit me today. Perhaps she picked it because the depths took Fishbone Fang away. That was not intentional. That's just the way it happened. And I think that at this time, ironically, for a cat of 13 moons who just has a trainee's level of experience, but has now developed a bit of a strange personality and has the makings of a fantastic hunter with a little bit more training, I do think that Dune Depths is going to go ahead and she is going to approach Dunland Star. And she's going to have her head held up high. And she is going to tell him that she was aware that Fishbone Fang sacrificed his life for her. And that she wanted to live in a way that would contribute to the clan and honor his sacrifice. And Dunland Star, since he's basically colliding into kits and staggering everywhere, doing his best to try to hold the fragments of this clan together, Dunland Star is going to realize that he needs help. And even though it seems to make absolutely no sense on one level, considering the fact that, again, if you look at it, there's only 2 cats in this clan who can go out and do any hunting right now. And that's Coral Waves and Dune Depths. And Coral Waves, who's eavesdropping on Seawish, playing with the kits, well, she is proficient at her experiences, but it mostly lies with being a good medicine cat. And it mostly lies with that very odd happenstance and luck that she seems to have, thanks to her connection with StarClan that nobody quite realizes. And Dune Star is going to realize there is only one cat currently present who might be able to be by his side as the kind of helper of actual, like, muscle and actually being able to go out and engage with the life that a warrior for this clan needs to. That's gonna be Dune Depths. And so even though she's only 13 moons old, even though it kind of makes no sense on another level, she's going to be the deputy of SaltClan. And while some cats may claim that she's power hungry, it's actually only a touch that, because she always was a little sneaky and ambitious, but actually the thing that drives her to want to now throw herself mercilessly into training so that she can become an extremely experienced and strong cat is going to be that she remembers Fishbone Fang's sacrifice, and that without him, she wouldn't be here. So, Dune Depths is now deputy. And that's not all, because now that we only have Sandtide and Doghugger inside of the Medicine Cat Den, and they both have conditions that Splash can't really do anything more about, Splash is going to have a conversation with Spec, who I do believe, or excuse me, CaveSpec, yeah, who she does feel okay close to, and she's going to have a conversation with Dunlun Star. So let's switch her over to Mediator really quickly. And she's going to talk between Dunlun Star and CaveSpec. Little does she know it that there's a bit of romantic stuff going on. And she is going to tell them that she believes that CaveSpec should step back in as Medicine Cat for now. Because even though Splash, to be honest, does know more about the healing, she also is a young and healthy cat. And she knows enough about healing, she knows enough about the necessities of keeping a cat in a clan healthy to have realized that what everyone needs right now, it really is food more than anything else. And that's something that she actually can help out with. So she's going to mediate between them. Oh, look at that. So trust increased, romantic interest increased, comfort increased, jealousy decreased. So I think, yeah, they're building quite a bit of trust with one another. A lot of platonic, like CaveSpec already really liked and really felt comfortable around Dunlun Star. And now Splash is going to go ahead and she's going to switch to being a warrior after having that talk with them. And I'm actually going to pop over to Dunlun Star real quick. We're going to go ahead and have him have a conversation with CaveSpec and Splash as well. We'll just kind of do this in 3 different ways so we can see how they all end up together. CaveSpec really has feelings for Dunlun, so she's not going to go ahead and have any romantic interest in Splash. I just know that's going to be true. And their respect is increased and trust is increased since Splash and CaveSpec feel, okay, everyone's been able to go ahead and have a conversation about these things. Also, Splash, come back here. You need to be, okay. So you need to be deputy. Are you kidding me? Why can I not make you deputy? All right, look. No, not Splash. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. Dune Depths is deputy. I just meant Splash just needs to be a normal warrior now. And that's what she's going to be. And then CaveSpec is going to go ahead and she's going to mediate between these two. I'm actually going to roll the dice. It actually rolled to roll for romance, which I think would very much alarm CaveSpec, but it happened. I'm just saying it happened. And I think that that's going to start a bit of a romance triangle, or at least CaveSpec being extremely jealous. And CaveSpec is going to go to being a elder medicine cat, helping out in the medicine cat den once more. Finally, I think the only mediating we have left is with Brinetail, and I think he would be trying to talk between Salty and... oh wow, Salty and Dune Depths, actually. And I'm gonna roll the dice again. Alright, I don't know how I feel about that, but the dice rolled another 2. So we're gonna go ahead and mediate with a bit of romance and see if the two who have been through this grief together might grow closer as a result. Yeah, okay. Looks like there's no romantic interest here. That made me feel a little squibby, but I was gonna go ahead and roll with it just in case. And then finally, let's go ahead and see Wish, who is looking forward to today. I think that she would actually be feeling like just mediating between a couple of random cats. And maybe Coral Waves. Oh, this is perfect! And Coral Waves is going to be coming over and telling Dunlun Star something that I actually wanted her to do as well, which is that she's actually a bit worried that Dunlun Star seems so overworked and busy taking care of everyone. Why doesn't Coral Waves go ahead and take over the training of Boots Paw? Because she kind of misses having her younger sister around, and Dune Depths doesn't want anything to do with her right now. And what am I gonna do? Okay, no romance roll on that one, but we will mediate. And I think that's gonna be really good. So Coral Waves is gonna get more respect for Dunlun Star, and I think Dunlun Star is going to be relieved, and so is Boots Paw, because of the idea, and this is actually something I was already thinking about, good job Sea-Wish, that Boots Paw, who is helping to reinforce the camp wall with brambles right now, is actually going to go ahead and he is going to have a new mentor in Coral Waves, who is now going to be his permanent mentor until he grows up, or she decides to change her role yet again, because she's available and has time, while Dunlun Star is actually quite busy. And to be honest, Boots Paw and Dunlun Star constantly were butting heads, so this might help them out a little bit. Like, you can tell they've kind of gotten closer, but we'll have to just see how things go from here. But alright, so there's the lineup, friends. We still have all 5 kits. We have a little bit of shuffling between the medicine cats. Splash is going to try to make a splash at being able to at least contribute and help with hunts a little bit. Maybe her experience living on the beach for so long gives her a bit of an edge. And then we're going to see where the future of SaltClan goes from here. What kind of life they're going to have as the first leaf bear arrives with its storms and its freezing cold, bitter winds. We're going to see. My most curious little seed of a question right now is, will all the kittens be able to make it to their apprenticeship and then to adulthood when there's a significant lack of fish going on? We'll find out next time. So, thank you guys so much for joining me. If you could, do please leave a like in honor of Fishbone Bang, who is also curious about what Tail is doing once again. And if you would like to join us on this and literally thousands more adventures, do please consider subscribing. But most importantly, stay curious, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye!